Hello and welcome back to another episode of Loresworn Chronicles, Crusader Kings. I am Asa TJ Hafer, the host of Loresworn Gaming, and we are playing as the Curonians in the Holy Fury expansion, which I believe is coming out the day you guys should be watching this, so I hope you guys are enjoying it. And if you can't be enjoying it right now, hopefully you can at least be watching this to slake your thirst temporarily. We have begun to expand our borders into something that is more of a tribal conglomeration, not really a tribal federation, because we have one chief who's kind of in charge of everything, although the mechanics in CK2 for tribal vassals do sort of support the idea of a nation being a tribal confederation, since you do have the option to like call your tribal vassals to war separately. Yeah, we're starting to kind of expand out, and we've incorporated some Estonian, Finnic pagans into our realm. We've incorporated some Lithuanians. Although those of you that haven't been keeping up with it should definitely check out some of the comments that I'm gonna make sure I remember his name correctly. Caius, I believe is how you pronounce it, has been leaving on some of our videos because he has a lot of good insight on Baltic history. He actually corrected me that the people we're playing as might not necessarily have been illiterate at this point in time. There's actually some evidence of Baltic runic alphabets that are contemporary or even before this start date. So they might have had simple written language similar to the Scandinavians. Anyway, we are continuing to expand our power currently to the southward because we want to seize the Romuva holy sites at Shelmno and Podlazia so that we can reform the religion sooner rather than later. And I think we're going to start out with... what does it say? I'm the chief of this. Oh no, does he just look... Okay, he just looks extremely similar to me, that's all. Yeah, High Chief Veduti of Skalvia is our probable next target. He doesn't have any significant allies. We are going to launch a border dispute over Memel and bring that into our realm. Does that give us everything? Chiefdom of Memel. Okay, no, it doesn't give us the High Chiefdom. I'm not sure why it's highlighting all of this. But yeah, let's do it. Let's continue to expand our borders. And we're going to go ahead and march on these guys. Speed 3 while we're at war. Let's make sure we have Akko is leading the way. Try to remember to screenshot all battles from now on. Not that we'll have very good records of these battles in the grand scheme of the lore, but we will probably have some record of them. Alright. Yeah, definitely go back to, I believe it's episode 0, where Caius, in one of the comments, and let me know if I'm pronouncing your username wrong, posted a really cool documentary talking about the Curonians and kind of their role in this period of history. Let's see, my concubine is pregnant. Apparently someone pointed out that I have the paranoid trait, so I'm going to think all my kids are not mine. I didn't think I had paranoid, but it's, yeah, I don't think I have the paranoid trait. So I'm not sure why I keep getting that event all the time. Anyway, doubt besets me. Thought it over, can't be... Alright, let's... I'm just going to keep paying to do it. I'm going to go up to speed 5 while I siege this. Leki, the wife of Earl Broda of Surrey, has been spending a few days in Kurtsema It's been a very nice experience meeting her. Maybe our peoples are not that different after all. Sure. Let's see, he's an Anglo-Saxon Catholic. I don't know. Maybe that could pay off. Alright, so we have a non-aggression pact with some random Anglo-Saxon Earl who lives far away. That could actually be... Okay, so that could be an interesting event, because these are Catholics with written records. So that could actually be one of the first textual sources we will have about our people. Because if he made friends with this pagan king, he might write about them. I especially want to know. Let's see, his learning stat is okay. I'm more curious if there's anyone in his court, like this guy, Wolf, the court chaplain, who might write about us. He would be more likely to be a record keeper. Okay, kid seems to be mine. We've got some people dragged out for ransom. Can't ransom anybody right at the moment, but it looks like the war is over. We're going to enforce our demands. So Memel is now ours. Stand down our armies. And do we not have a truce with him? Oh, okay, it just hasn't shown up yet. 783, 5-year truce. So our next target, I believe, should be... I don't know if establishing a tributary state counts as control for purposes of reforming... For purposes of reforming the religion or not. I do want to screenshot our borders at this point, just to keep a record of our expansion. We don't have the option for a border dispute on the Prussians yet. But, I don't know, we might extort tribute on some of these guys at some point here. I suppose... Do we not have a truce with this guy? Oh, we could force vassalization. Let's see, he's a Letigalian pagan. We're nowhere near our vassal limit. Yeah, let's do that. Chief Ringautus will be our next vassal. Unless he just wants to become our vassal peacefully, which it doesn't look like he did. So, yeah, we're going to do forced vassalization. Because apparently he's weak and in need of our protection. Spending a significant amount of prestige. You can make them your vassals so long as they are of a lower tier, at or below 30 realm size, and as the rulers of your religion and culture group. Okay, I haven't actually played with that. I think that's one of the Jade Dragon Sea Beads, unless it was just added. I'm not very familiar with how it works yet. Alright. So again, I'm going to try to fight all of our wars with our domain troops, if possible. I want to gather our forces before we march in there, at least a little bit. Okay, that should be sufficient. We're going to have Akko lead. We're going to have Minagila on the flank here. And we are off to battle. So the bulk of our force will arrive a couple days late, but it shouldn't make a big difference. Alright. So we captured one of their elders in battle. Screenshot that. Okay. And, yeah, why don't we sacrifice him to Dievis? Okay. Now we just gotta siege it down. He didn't call in any allies, did he? Nope. Okay, so I'm getting pop-ups, it looks like on OBS, from my Discord window, so I'm just going to turn that off real quick, just in case anyone's messaging me about anything personal. I don't want it popping up on the stream here. Well, so I stopped the recording to change some overlay settings, and we had an issue where I started recording again, and the entire computer crashed, and now I have a 550 megabyte FLV file that won't open and won't convert into anything. And I spent like 45 minutes to an hour trying to recover it, and I couldn't seem to do it. But I guess the one bright side of that is that does kind of reflect that in the era that we're playing in, a lot of the evidence that we would have to reconstruct what happened would be fragmentary. So I have the 3 most recent autosaves that happened between when I stopped recording to turn off those overlays and right now. And I also took screenshots during that time that we will be able to use to kind of reconstruct from the wiki. Unfortunately, there's not going to be video with commentary, it looks like, covering that span of time, because the entire PC crashed and the FLV file will not open. Nothing. I've tried several different programs and they don't want to open it. So we're just going to move forward. We're doing some raiding right now. I think we missed my little spiel about raid warfare and about how it was very common among tribal societies like this, not just in Europe but also elsewhere. And that unlike a war for territory, where you might want to, desolate the entire countryside. Oh, look, and now, because I restarted the computer, Steam's popping up with overlays again. Just not going to stress out about it. I'm just not going to stress out about it. Because in a war for territory, it could be, for your own survival, you might want to desolate the entire countryside of your enemy. Raid warfare is a limited form of warfare that tends to be less destructive overall in a lot of cases, because you might want to come back and raid them again someday. So you go in, you take some wealth, you probably take some slaves. CK2 abstracts it all as gold, but definitely slaves were one of the things that were getting exchanged in these kinds of raids. And then you go home, and a lot of times it's more about proving that you can do it. There's some very famous Nordic sagas about famous kings who just basically go prove that they're better than their enemies and then leave them alone, just because what really mattered was the prestige and proving who the greater king was, not necessarily conquering territory. That's something that kind of came into their cultural lexicon from outside, from the imperialist Romanized peoples. So, we did progress to the hero rank in our society. We dueled a guy. He's gone now. There's screenshots to document this, and we are just raiding to get our treasury up so that we can go to war again. Okay. And, did that mission go through? Okay, we did get a mission to duel Yeditus again, so we are going to duel him again. He has a duel skill of 27, and I have a duel skill of 69. Nice. And that was about to happen when the game crashed before. We were about to have our duel. So, yeah, the fight has gone on for what feels like hours. The initial confidence I felt has begun to wane, and my movements are getting sloppy. Then, just as my knees are about to give way under me, I whack my wooden staff into his hand. We have won the duel. We are going to the party of the Chief of Riga, who was our old rival's son. He died of the Great Pox, and now we are trying to antagonize him so we can kill him, duel him and kill him before he has kids, and then his lands will fall to us. Either that, or if he does have a kid, we're going to try to educate that kid to be a Letigalian Romuva pagan, so that this area will fully come under the control of our religion, and we'll get 5% more moral authority for that. So we're going to get this party started. And apparently we're now best friends. Alright, well, we're going to have a love-hate relationship. After the duel, Yeditus asked me for advice on fighting, a little taken aback. I happily offered to train with him on occasion. Today, he thanks me for being a good teacher and friend, he adds, dunking me on the back before he cocks his head in the direction of the sparring grounds. Alright, so apparently I'm just making friends with everybody now. He has 100 opinion of me. Alright, well maybe he'll let me educate his kid. I'm gonna stop antagonizing him. We're gonna RP this. If we're friends now, and I'm ostensibly a good person, we're just gonna say fate did not go the way that we thought it was gonna go with that. So, reveling and carousing is over for now. Time to get back to real life. My favorite subject does not interest me anymore, and I can't speak about it with the same zeal as before, so we have lost the zealous trait. Maybe because I'm good friends with a Finnish pagan now. Or an Estonian pagan. Lokog Veni has been going around Kurtsema for a few days now, praising me as one of the wisest rulers Curonia has seen in decades. Alright. Getting praised by the elders again. He's also one of our commanders. New recruits have been partaking in our initiation ritual. Oh, we've probably got all the money we can get from here. Okay, we took a dude captive. We're going to sacrifice him to Dievas. So I'm just going to make a nice little raiding arc around our borders here. And then we'll use that money to good effect. This is a heavily defended area here. New recruits, training grounds have been built. Start ransoming some of these captives. Should get us 56 gold in total, which is very, very nice. By the way, was this the guy that had the Axe of Perun? Where did that end up? Is there a button to find... I think there used to be a button to find artifacts, but I don't remember what it is. I might be thinking of the Game of Thrones mod. Alright. Paying our ransoms. We can usurp the High Chiefdom of Lithuania. Oh. Well, that would obviously be good. Let's do it. Alright. So, I'm gonna go home because... Let's see, would he... Can we demand vassalization from him? We can't, and I think we have a truce with him until 784. So 3 more years. We could press the de jure claim on Lithuania. Yeah, we'll wait to do that. That's great. Does that get us a holy site? No, they're all further south. Alright, and then we still have a truce with this guy, I believe. Oh no, we don't have a truce with this guy. We could vassalize the Latgalians right here, right now. Let's do that. So we're gonna force vassalization. Raise our armies. Speed 3 at war. So says the Book of TJ. Let's see if we can get across the river before them. Alright. They chickened out and gave up their position. This is going to get interesting. Yeah, they're probably going to beat us across the river. But we'll at least catch up to them. Okay. There we go. Defeated them. They're also being attacked by Polotsk at the same time, so we might end up having to fight those guys. Just to make sure that we claim all of this before they do, I'm going to split our armies in half. Because, yeah, that's not a raiding band. I think that's a band of conquest. Iconoclasts are triumphant. We're not going to look down there because we're going to RP that we don't know about that yet. Although we could be getting some word from Constantinople on the Russian river systems. I don't think the Vikings have really started to move that way just yet. These guys down here, though, the Severians of the Radimich dynasty, have converted to Catholicism already. So we do have some monotheists starting to encroach on our borders. This nice Slavic buffer is very, very helpful to us at the moment. Alright. Here comes the armies of Mendune. What sort of a man is this chief Ankad of the Latgalians? He's greedy, diligent, proud, envious, cruel, hunter, scarred, charismatic negotiator. Not a great person, from what I can tell. He's not a wonderful human being. Let's go up to speed 4. Well, that's annoying. That's annoying enough that I would normally restart a save, but I'm not going to. That's actually super annoying that they got the war before us. Can I force vassalize this guy? Let's see. Declare war. Okay, I can at least declare a conquest war on him. So let's see. He has 1.6k of levies, and then he has this guy as a tribal vassal who currently has no troops. Yeah, we're just gonna eat some of his territory. So we're gonna see. I think Jerzica is probably gonna make the most sense. Yeah. Okay. So this guy subjugated the guys we were trying to subjugate at the same time. So I suppose narratively what could have happened there is that they were caught between our friend Ankad the Hunter here. He was caught between being attacked at the same time by Akko and by Dobrynia, and because Dobrynia controlled his main capital hill fort. No, there's not even a hill fort here. He just controlled his main village. He swore allegiance to Dobrynia if Dobrynia would protect him from us. And now we are going to war with Dobrynia because that was not cool, dude. This is our CB that we're using. So we're going to raise our men. We're also going to call our tribal vassals into this war. I think it's time to get them involved. All right. So the chief of Celia did not join our war, but everybody else is answering their obligations, which is good. Let's go down to speed 3. Our chief diviner has died. We have another one with skill 18 who's a loyalist, so that's great. Call to glory. We'll wait and see if we need it. I don't necessarily think we will. Rasa can be a commander. Well, wait, let's make sure. Okay, she's not Craven. Never appoint a Craven commander, such as Skurdo here. So we're going to get Ringaudas. No, that's... Alright, we're going to search for a famous warrior. That's what we're going to do. So, any gender willing to join our court. They have to be in Diplo range, and they have to be a great warrior. They have to not be Craven. I prefer if they don't have Cancer. So Aurelius. He's a Prussian warrior, brave, gregarious, paranoid. He's a duelist. We're going to invite him to our court. We're going to screenshot him, because he might become an important character in the legends. And, excellent. Wisdom and Mercy. My Wisdom and Mercy are legendary. Thank you for noticing. Honestly, thank you for noticing that. Okay. So we're going to finish the siege of Yersica, and then we're going to cross back over the Daugava to stop this army that is marauding in the lands of the guy who did not accept the call to war. So there's some poetic justice for you. My wife Brita is now known as Brita Sharptongue. That's gonna sound really cool in the legends. I like that. I like that a lot. Alright, yeah, we're gonna get there before they manage to subdue the countryside. They're fleeing into the lands of the Lithuanians. We will continue to give chase. And we will catch up to them. Much glory on the battlefield will be had. Rumors that great spoils are waiting behind the walls of the Sarema tribe. Alright, we'll accept that mission. Let's see, did we capture... Oh, we captured Ankad the Hunter. Alright, this guy we're gonna sacrifice. Alright, let's screenshot all of this to try to get as much historical detail in one picture as possible. Alright, so this guy, we're gonna sacrifice him to Dievas. We lost 27 men, they lost 781. The Battle of Nalsia. This campaign has been easy pickings. Swinging my sword over the plains is a pleasure, and my fellow soldiers are equally jovial, surrounded by the blood of our Elminian enemies and the cries of battle. Look! Enemy Commander Ashot is hiding! Someone suddenly shouts, pointing off into the distance. Alright, so this is the Chancellor of Polotsk. He is... not a great duelist from what it looks like. He's a physician, interestingly enough. Alright, let's duel him. And we're gonna keep him prisoner for now. So, alright. Let's go ahead and speed up. We'll go capture Latgale next, I suppose. Or we'll get into another battle. Mela needs an education trait. It looks like her childhood traits have made her ideal for a spy education. Alright, let's go down to speed 3. We have, where was it that we had that? Okay, hang on. Sacrifice him to Dievas. Sometimes I think I'm paused when I'm not, and then that leads to problems. What? Which province was this that got a... Okay, Smuggler. There's a Thieves Guild in Vonema because I haven't been doing my job. Offer peace. Enforce demands. Okay. We've conquered Yersica. I'm going to screenshot our borders here. Curonia expands once again. And let's see, we need another commander. No one is good. So we're going to invite Soninke. How is he in Diplo range? It just seems very odd that he would be in Diplo range. Is he leading troops somewhere that's close to us? No. Okay, RP-wise, I don't think that's realistic. Well, Here's the thing: if he lived in an Islamic society, I might go for that, because there actually were Islamic explorers and traders that made it up through the Russian river system, even as far as at least Kiev. We know Ibn Fadlan, who was a Russian writer, was not a Russian, an Islamic scholar, wrote some very kind of foundational works on the Kievan Rus Vikings. I don't think an African tribal warrior would have made his way up here at this point in history. It would have taken some very extreme circumstances, possibly being captured by Islamic slave traders and then maybe sold up the river system. It's possible. The fact that he's a grand vizier to a war chief of a what is that? Is it a mercenary band? Okay, so it's a Mandalaku Soninke West African mercenary band. Okay, you know what? That's kind of interesting. Let's go for it. That's kind of interesting. Let's say that this guy made his way up here, which it's really not completely out of the realm of possibility. He was in a mercenary band which fought a battle with some Muslims down here in Africa, perhaps one of the Midrarid Emirates troops, and somehow he got sold through the Mediterranean as a slave, possibly. Ended up in Curonia. Possibly he escaped. Possibly he was just seen through his martial skill to be a good warrior, and so he was released from his thraldom. That creates kind of an interesting story. So we're gonna invite him to our court. He's not Islamic, so he may not be literate. I'm not necessarily certain we would say that this is an example of somebody who might have been able to write down his experiences, but certainly an interesting character to bring to our court, and also relevant in that I definitely do think CK2 can be used as an effective tool to show how much areas of Europe in the Middle Ages that our media tends to portray as like overwhelmingly white, which wasn't even necessarily, there wasn't really a concept of whiteness in the Middle Ages, but there actually was a fair bit more diversity that we have fairly good evidence for in a lot of these areas. So I kind of like that. I kind of like bringing this guy up here. So Tunka Menin has joined our Comitatus as a foreign warrior who has shown some great skill on the battlefield. That's going to be the end of this episode. We went a little long on this one just because of the snafu with the corrupted OBS file. But check out loresworn.com. We have revamped the website, and we're in the process of continuing to revamp it. Subscribe to this channel. Click the notification button so that you can be informed when new episodes go up. Comments and likes, as always, increase our engagement, so more people are more likely to see this, and you can share the awesomeness of Chronicles with them if you feel so inclined. The wiki, those of you that have asked about it, is not up yet. We're going to start building the wiki around the time that the Curonians establish a written language, which is going to be a milestone that I already have planned. I know exactly when it's going to happen in terms of the CK2 game mechanics. So that will be up, and I'm actually, I've talked about it a little bit in the comments, but I have some plans of ways that you guys in the community are going to be able to contribute to that wiki, possibly by writing legends about Akko the Just, and then later on I'm going to give you a little tutorial on how to take these save files, which are going to be available through probably a Dropbox, find a scholarly character somewhere out in the world that can serve as your voice as a chronicler, and write about events that you will be able to piece together using the save files and the screenshots. So it's going to be very cool. Lots of opportunities for community collaboration. I'm very excited about the alternate history, the very rich, detailed alternate history we're going to create with this series. We'll see you guys next time.